So when you think of Morecambe, do you think of, or do you think of?
Go back to the beginning.
Life is good, yeah. Yeah, in my darkest times, you got me feeling like I've been walking on air. Left all my worries and cares. I've got no burdens around you. I don't care who knows I love you. Times you got me feeling like life is good, yeah. Life is good, yeah. Yeah, in my darkest times you got me feeling like.
So what is Morecambe? In its heyday, Morecambe was thriving. It was a destination for the north, for the working classes to come on their holidays, like Blackpool. The theatre, like the Winter Garden, saw The Who. Oh, goodness knows how many different bands when it was in its full glory. The town was thriving. As I said, it was full of bed and breakfasts and little hotels. There were holiday camps. And then everything started to shut. And Morecambe became tatty, not loved, was no longer the destination to go to. And then money started to be put in. The Winter Garden's being restored. The Eden Project's coming here. Just over there, there's a big pit, the old Lido that the fair was in until all the money's been put together for this Eden Project. And it started being brightened up. You've got the sculpture trail. There's birds, sculptures absolutely everywhere. The seagulls absolutely everywhere. But one thing Morecambe is really good for is food. All the the cafes on the front, Eric's Cafe. There's the pubs. All of those really, really good for gluten-free, really good for vegetarian and for vegan. So it's quite a welcoming place to come and have a walk on the prom and come and have some lunch. And it's generally busy here now. And not just for the beach. There is a beach. There's stretches of beach. There's stretches of mud, because we are in Morecambe Bay, and Morecambe Bay is muddy, but you wouldn't get the cockles apparently without the mud. So, there are bonuses to it for some. So we've just wandered down because, well, they've got a big B&M here, and the youngest has wanted to go to B&M. And also because it's quite a nice place just to come and have a potter. You get blown to pieces. I have never been here in 20 odd years without being blasted at least one end or the other of the prom with the wind. But yeah, it's part of the charm, isn't it? So I'll take you on a wander. Gonna have a wander down the stone jetty, I think. Oh, and behind me there, that building, if you want a little bit of glamour, Agatha Christie stayed there, and there's books set up there as well, and it's beautiful inside with views out over the bays, a brilliant cream tea, and yeah, it just oozes, really oozes 1920s glamour in there. It's brilliant.
Do this, you might ask? Well, every time the bell rings, it reminds us of how our climate is changing. As sea levels rise due to climate change, the bell will ring more frequently during high tides. Pretty smart, right? So, when you hear the time and tide bell, remember, it's not just a sound, but a call to action. It's telling us to take care of our planet, to be more aware of our environment, and to work together to protect it. So next time you're by the seaside and you hear a bell ring, think of the time and tide bell. And remember, we're all in this together.
That's an interesting idea. With a trail set up between Hesbank and Sunderland Point. You scan the QR codes and find out a little bit about the installations and things that have been put there. Now these I love. These gorgeous little cormorants, cast metal. There's a lifeboat station there. Stone Jetty used to have a railway line on it for the ships that were coming in, and it would take everything to and from. You see right out over the bay to Silverdale, over to one side, and then lit up in white in the distance there is Grange Over Sands. And disappearing into the mists at the other side is Ulverston and round to Barrow. Not entirely sure. It's like part seagull, part hawk. It's got quite sizable talons on it. Any hints? No. It's all out of marble. Over there is the Stone Jetty Cafe. And they're quite good for gluten-free as well. And they're good for vegetarian. And they do decent ice cream. Last time we were here, we were sat out on they had all the tables and chairs outside. And we're sitting out, trying desperately to stop everything that we had on the table being blown away. Bit too foggy today to see the Lake District. Yeah. You can see Doodah fell up at the back. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. I'll put the name of it in a minute. Everybody seems to like climbing it. Look at that mud down there. Doesn't that look delightful? It's quite weird because that side it's like gloopy, and then you've got a beach right up over there. There's a sandy beach, and then the rest of it is all gloopy. And then this side is more sand than mud. I've got out into the open bit now, and it's starting to get a bit windier. They're doing down there. Such a strange place to be doing your Pilates. Seeing the people of Morecambe, the city of Lancaster, and the submarine HMS Trafalgar, which was decommissioned on the 4th of December 2009. I have no idea what that link is. Be worth having a look. But yeah, terrible view, isn't it? But yeah, it's not the prettiest of towns. It's faded, and the shops' fronts are tatty and windswept and battered by the storms coming in, but you can still see the charm of what was there. You know, and you can see what with investment it could become again. And I think the Eden project is going to be brilliant for Morecambe. I think it's going to do a lot for the finances of the town.
Go. So behind me now, behind these blue railings or whatever you want to call them here, used to be Frontierland. So a couple of personal memories of what used to be here. Now once over, it was owned by the same people that used to own the Pleasure Beach in Blackpool, and it was actually branded as the Pleasure Beach in Morecambe, and then they rebranded it as Frontierland, and it used to have a Big Dipper, and it used to have a wild mouse, and it used to have a log flume. Eventually they all fell into disrepair and they didn't put any money into it, and so the whole place just got flattened. So I'm not entirely sure who owns it now, but at one point they had a cable car that came out, went out over to the sea, came round and came back, which you could have a ride in, little mushroom shaped gondolas there. And they also had the Polo Mint. Now the Polo Mint originally started at Blackpool, and it was taken out of Blackpool when they put the big one in the early 90s, and they moved it here, and it was a big tower that you're getting at the bottom, and it'd go up, and of course it was green and blue like a tube of Polos, sponsored by Polo, and you could go up the top and you could and it'd do a couple of spins around at the top and come back down, and it was like an observation platform, so obviously on a nice day you'd have some absolutely fantastic views of the Lake District.
So we've abandoned Morecambe just for a short while to come over to Evesham village. Yeah, the cafe there is good. And oh lordy. I'd say they're fairly ancient and fairly battered, and somebody's do you know that painting in the that Italian,
Yeah.
was it Italian or Spanish or something, where she went and she's been here? It's all holiday lets, I think, up here. That one's there, that one there. And go up to St. Peter's Church. We'll do St. Peter's Church first to find the poet and philosopher. And then we've got something for Black Sabbath fans. You might recognise. Looks old and worn, doesn't it? Oh, it's a little garden down there. A little pathway through it. And I think the residents here have probably got one of the best views of Morecambe Bay going. But we're going down here.
So some of you with a more heavy metal bent might recognise where we are now. So Black Sabbath album. These are the graves at Heysham. Dug for Vikings sometime around the first millennia. I must admit, if you're going to get laid out for your rest of eternity, I can think of not many places with a view as good as this on the promontory here. And behind us are the ruins of the chapel. There's a new one just over the back of the hill there. And it's slowly fading into the sea. So I think every now and then bones are found and reinterred. So this is St Patrick's Chapel. So yeah, I think legend has it that when he set off towards Ireland, this is probably where he set off from. As they do now, just round the corner there's the ferry terminal across to the Isle of Man and Belfast. So there we have the other side of the hill. Not quite as idyllic and peaceful. That would be Heysham 1 and 2 nuclear power plants, which I think are in the process of being decommissioned, and the ferry port to the Isle of Man and Ireland. Weather's closed in a bit, but behind us there you got, on a warm day, you got fantastic views up to the Lake District Hills, Broughton Moor across there which you can't quite see, and of course Barrowing Furnace. If the weather was a bit clearer, you'd be able to see Vickers and what have you on the horizon, BAE as it is. But yeah, and just this bit behind us there, the roof there, you can see that's part of the club, what was part of Pontin's holiday camp, which was here until the mid-80s. And just a bit further over there's a go-kart, used to be a go-kart track which claimed a few lives in its time. It was a bit dangerous. Yes, that's Heysham. It's a cracking little town. Some nice little pubs, nice little cafes. It's well worth half an hour or an hour. Just have a wander around if you happen to be passing the area. Yeah, I think if you're lucky on a very clear day from over here, you could probably see all the way up to Ingleborough. You know, you can see the sea from Ingleborough, the White Scar Caves, which if we haven't covered already, we'll cover in a video, which are sort of in that general direction. But yeah, and of course the Howgills just visible there in the murk.